to have you with us, and this time it falls on a Tuesday, the 24th day of March. Weather-wise, not many changes, but definitely some tweaks to be made in the past 24 hours. We're still going to peak tomorrow in the low 70s, and 48 hours later, we'll fall to the tune of about 30 degrees, 32 to maybe even 35 degree difference as far as daytime highs are concerned from Wednesday till Friday. It'll be a rather steady fall, but it indeed is going to fall, and it's also going to fall back into the area where we could see a few flakes and a bit of a mix or changeover. We'll talk about conditions that will also continue to be below average thereafter. A 40-degree day, which is close to the 30s, close enough, mind you, on Saturday for a cooler weekend in store. Tonight's headlines include wrapping up coverage of the Magauffa County Board of Education session. I brought you just one segment last evening as it pertained to a 2% raise across the board for all staff employed within the Magauffa County school system, as I understand. Also, we will talk about tonight other items, including the school calendar, some new happenings there, and some new information in regards to the next athletic complex to be constructed. We'll talk about baseball and softball fields and the current high school project as well, and everything else that transpired during the meeting. In lieu of talking about meetings, the Sagersville City Council has rescheduled this past Monday. Last night was to be a rescheduled meeting, but they have since rescheduled it again, and that meeting has been set for this Thursday at 7. The next regular session meeting of the Sagersville City Council this Thursday at 7. Items on the agenda include a financial report talking about some easement agreements, first reading of the ordinance regarding the Sagersville East annexation, continuity of government, a report from the mayor, some discussion of the tourism and the Dawkins line here in Magauffa County and as it pertains to the Sagersville area as well. All that will be covered, and of course in a report following the next day here on Your News Today. A Tom Allen in Breathitt County was taken into custody for questioning by state police. It happened in Breathitt County. He tells police that he shot 2 men, albeit in self-defense. He was taken into custody, if you will, just a moment or two after arrival of authorities who were called to a shooting in Breathitt County. Police in Jackson have confirmed that 2 people were shot at a home on Sewell Street. One was struck in the face with a gunshot. Another was hit somewhere in the facial area by a bullet that reportedly was not a direct hit but a ricochet. That's the initial reports. That's all I have at this hour from some residents in the Breathitt County area, but they did identify the shooter as a Tom Allen, who once again was stating to authorities that it was self-defense, but 2 men shot and taken to an area hospital. I have an announcement for the community calendar, just hasn't made it there yet, and I'll put it on there in a few days. But South Magauffa Elementary, for students in that part of the county, is having their kindergarten registration for the upcoming school year, April the 6th through the 17th. So you've got a few days to get in, and I'll tell you about it between now and then on a few days as well. But elementary, South Magauffa Elementary, that is, kindergarten registration April 6th through the 17th, 8 till 3. If your child will be 5 or older before October the 1st, he or she is eligible for kindergarten. If your child is in Head Start and will be entering kindergarten, you still need to stop by the school office and register your children. And for registration, you need to bring your child's birth certificate, social security card, and immunization certificate. So you might have enough time to find all those things, because I know how that goes between now and then. We mentioned, I did just a couple of nights ago in coverage of the most recent regular session of the Magauffa County Fiscal Court, about the upcoming planned reenactment. Just a reminder tonight, it is set for April the 10th, the 11th, and 12th. The Battle of Ivy Point here in Sagersville. They've got a whole lot of fun things that I'll remind you about a little later. And they've also got a couple of important things that are going to be just as entertaining, if not more so, and that is the Kentucky Humanities Council presenting Trish Clark as Mary Todd Lincoln. I'm told it's just a dramatic performance, one everyone will enjoy, as well as Jim Sayer as Abraham Lincoln as well, also presented by the Kentucky Humanities Council. That's 2 things that they've been able to work into the reenactment this year that we're all looking forward to, as you should too. But the reenactment itself, April 10th, 11th, and 12th, free of course for everyone. A whole lot of things there to see and do, and I'll remind you and talk about it more as the weekend gets closer. And of course, if you're watching from out of the area, the Ivy Point is just in downtown Sagersville, or just outside at the Gardner Farm, just outside of Sagersville on 460 West. We'll be talking about it more, though, as I said, very, very soon. We'll talk about headlines after this message or two, and that will also include a report on an athlete like none other I have spoke about in the several years that I've been here. Looking forward to bringing you that headline, one we'll be adding to in the future, so stay tuned. Your News Today shall return. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. I'll pick up where I left off last night with continuing coverage of the regular session meeting of the McGoffin County Board of Education earlier this week. I'm not sure if this segment was included in last night's brief portion of coverage, so I want to make sure I get to it tonight and maybe add a little bit more. The meeting started last night with student KVEC Senate members with school projects being discussed. Junior Kelsey Cole, senior Dalton Howard talking about improving school culture and overall recognizing and tackling problems as they pertain to students, specifically in a couple of instances the activity or lack thereof or lack of participation, but how to get them involved in learning. They've made posters, they've made videos to help get students to join clubs like the FBLA, for example. They showed one for the Board of Education and Superintendent last night that was designed to create a buzz, and I would have to agree with him that it most certainly did. Quite a production. Now, it's obviously not a good copy here to take video from a screen and then try to play it on TV, but it was obviously done under the Rocky theme and very well done. And they say it had generated quite a buzz about the FBLA. They also say that they plan to recognize student achievements in the future with a Student of the Month and a Teacher and Classified Staff of the Month recognition as well. They've also worked on underage drinking campaigns and are continuing to do so. While I've already touched on it, there has been some new developments in the situation. Director of Student Services David Gibson presented the school calendar and proposal to the board, discussing snow days and possible solutions to keeping the school year-end date in check.
Required by law, the current law, that's been in place for several years now, to do 170 school days and 1,062 hours. Now, the 170 school days is a Kentucky administration reg that's set forth by the Commissioner of Education. The 1,062 hours is actually statute. So there's two things that we have to meet. We meet the 170-day requirement we have for several years, but we do more than the minimum number of hours. We max out the hours that we do for our kids. So we're providing above and beyond what the law requires us to do for our students. That's important. Those hours are really important to us when we have a year like we've had this year. If you look in the red there, we've missed 23 days of school, which currently, under the current rules, puts us getting out June the 11th. If we use spring break, which has been designated as a makeup time for as long as I've been doing this, that'll bump us back to June the 4th. Okay? Now, those are things that you can control. You can do that tonight and take care of that. The other two things are kind of out of our hands at this moment. Here's why. There is a bill that's currently at the governor's desk that has an amendment attached to it that says that we can, if we meet the minimum hourly requirement before June the 5th, we can back up and get days, basically. It's actually time that we won't be doing, time that we've got built in, but we're not going to do that time. If we are able to use that, and right now we can't because it's not law, but we expect that to be signed any day now, we would be able to gain 4 days in our calendar. That's one of the reasons why we do our calendar the way we do. It's very smart. We're able to take advantage of the minimum number of days, but max out on the hours, and then have those hours for security.
After some consideration, and with Gibson mentioning that also the school would be eligible to meet disaster day requests, which would give them up to 3 days. That is contingent on if the governor doesn't sign or didn't sign the waiver, if you will, giving the students those additional 4 days in the McGoffin County school system. So they did vote during the meeting to take spring break off the calendar, which I've already mentioned on an earlier program, and that sets classes out at June 4th. I have heard unofficially, as had Mr. Gibson today when I checked with him, that the governor has signed that document making law that they will be getting 4 days, emergency days back, and that, as of right now, with that we believe to have happened, has now set the McGoffin County last day of school date for May the 29th. I've got a few other dates for you. My apologies. I'm still dealing with this scratchy throat. Prom has been set for April the 18th. They can't set graduation until they finalize the school calendar. Then they'll be able to do that. Senior trip in Montgomery County has been set for the week of May the 8th. The gentleman addressing the Board of Education now is Joe Nance. He's with Ross, Sinclair, and Associates, and he's discussing financing with the Montgomery County High School construction project. A SURF grant, some refinancing, also the new market tax credit, all of which have seen approval and in their final stages have been approved, and that puts all monies in place to pay for all the projects. He says that with that and with bids approved for the $3 million athletic complex for the new softball and baseball athletic complex, as well as tennis courts at the old site of the Harold Whitaker Middle School, that all things are well on schedule.
Have in an account to start paying for the project. And then finally, and this is the other thing that I know your superintendent has been bird dogging this thing for the last year and a half. We have final notification that we are going to get our SURF grant to go to the project. So that's the funding of it. So really, I wanted to kind of break it all down. So what we're approving is the grand total on the first page of a revised BG1 form. And I always like to tell board members, hang on to this, because this is our official budget for the remainder of the project. That's where all the money is coming from and how it's going to be spent. Any questions?
Need a motion to approve that?
Yes.
Motion, you say?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, number 4, I'm looking to consider approving revised BG1 form for baseball and softball field.
I've got paper for that also.
Got paper.
And again, at your previous meeting, you approved the bids for the baseball softball field contingent upon KDE approval. And again, what we're doing now is bringing you the total picture. So, when you look at a construction cost on the top left-hand column of $2,397,421.80, we also have all the other costs associated with the project. You've got to pay your architect, your construction manager, you've got contingencies, geotechnical work. So the grand total project cost is going to be $3,025,561.27. And this is a real easy one. How we're going to pay for it on the right-hand side is strictly the insurance money. Yep. We have an account that's paying for it. And I will point out a good thing on this project. We've got our defined cost, and number 6, we've actually got $111,000 contingency built into the project. So hopefully, we had to rebid some things, and hopefully if everything goes well, we'll have a little bit left over to maybe get some of the nice things that we want to have after the fact. So it's good that we've got that built in. So again, this will be your budget for the ball fields.
And with all the finances in order, Kenny Davis, the construction manager with the project, says that they have an estimated start and completion date for what will be the final phase of the new high school project, that being the athletic complex, the ball fields at the site of the former middle school.
Actually, next week with Mr. Holbrook and a couple of the staff from the Sayresville Grade School and discuss how we're going to build a new road down to the Sayresville Grade School. Now they're going to run the loop. Well, that loop is where the baseball and softball fields sit. So in order for us to get started, we've got to build that road that takes the bus loop down that direction now. So we're going to meet next Tuesday.
The 24th
at 1 o'clock. We're going to discuss that, get a good game plan together, and then I would think by, like you said, the 1st of April, we're down there actually starting to build that road. That is the game plan. And then I would hope, weather permitting, I would hope by September we'd have that facility complete.
Now moving on to our McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. If you're doing it wrong or you just don't know how to do it at all, you want to learn proper fruit tree pruning, well, I've got the answer for you. It's going to be via a class at the McGoffin County Extension Office on just that topic, proper fruit tree pruning. It's going to be tomorrow at noon, the class and lunch, both free. And following the class at a later date, they'll have an on-farm fruit tree pruning demonstration, all free. All the best way to learn how to prune your fruit trees the right way. And lunch, did I say free? Other announcements and reminders as we move on throughout the calendar this evening. Revival still going on, 7 p.m. nightly at the Sagersville Pentecostal Church of Christ. New messages each night. This is your special invitation to join them for revival still going on at Sagersville Pentecostal. Also, a reminder about a fundraiser and a big dinner. Eat with the Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church this Friday, 10:30 till 2. They're going to have a big chicken and dumpling dinner with mashed potatoes, green beans, biscuit, and cake for just $7. Call 349-5740, or the day of, call 349-5524. Chicken and dumplings, Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church, Friday, 10:30 till 2. Another meal of different sorts. Eat breakfast with the Easter Bunny, Saturday the 28th. That's this Saturday, can you believe it? And that's the Saturday before Easter. The weekend before Easter. Let's get that out there. We've still got about a week and a half to go till Easter, but eat with the Easter Bunny at the Extension service, 9 to 11:30 that morning. It's bunny pancakes, sausage, and drinks, a photo with the Easter Bunny, and it's just $3 for kids and $5 for adults, and it's this Saturday, and it's hosted by the Funyuns Extension Homemakers Club. Bring the family, eat with the bunny. And the first annual McGoffin County Relay for Life Easter 5K is going to be in the Ramey Park Saturday. You can register at 9. The race will start at 10. All proceeds, of course, going to support Relay for Life and cancer research efforts. Ramey Park this Saturday. Registration at 9. You can call now, 349-8309, to find out more. There will be cash prizes, gift cards for the first 3 finishers, as well as the first 100 registered get a bunny ear headband to wear while you're running the Easter 5K. A reminder, efforts still underway to see a farmer's market established in McGoffin County. Vendors and producers are wanted. If you're either or both, there's a meeting coming up this Tuesday, 1 week from today, at the Extension service at 6 p.m. And if you have a calendar announcement, send it to me. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. I'll tell everyone about it. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Now for a report on a local athlete unlike any other that I've done in all my years here behind the desk, and I am stretching that just a tiny bit, but if you can claim them, claim them. That's how we do it around here, and we can. Caitlin Burchell, although a Richmond, Kentucky native, is the daughter of Lynn Robertson, a McGoffin County native. She's also the daughter of Todd Burchell, and she's also an outstanding athlete in the water. Lynn I grew up with, and Kaylin's younger daughter is a friend of Lacey's and is at my house and around us quite often, another lovely young lady. But tonight it's the older sister, which has just amassed a great deal of awards and recognitions for outstanding performance in the pool, deservedly so. The University of Alabama swimming and diving program made a big show of things in the SEC. So much so that that is just a part of the following story. Burchell, not only a senior at Alabama, not only an SEC champion ×2, has also performed in the NCAA, is also a member of the Olympic team, and has a whole lot of other things to look forward to in what is going to continue to be an ever-bright career. That's correct. We're talking about an SEC champion ×2 who did amazingly well in the NCAA. We'll hear about that in just a few moments. And as I said, over the summer, earned a spot on the United States national team after an outstanding performance in the 200-meter breaststroke, at which she excels. The following, albeit some grainy video off of YouTube, which is all I could find of the SEC championships, is an edited version of the 100-meter and the 200-meter breaststroke. And there is some excitement here to watch. And a little bit of it even builds up towards the end. Here's what I mean. Caitlin Burchell.
Qualifier Caitlin Burchell from the University of Alabama. Her best, 58.48, was 7th in this event last year.
Another senior. You've got 3 seniors right there in the middle of the pool that would love to go out winning an SEC title. Daniel, Burchell, and of course Hannes in the middle of the pool. And I think it's going to come between Hannes and Burchell.
100 yards breaststroke. underway. Annie Laser of Auburn in lane 1, Abby Duncan of Missouri in 2, Nikki. But they certainly emphasize the freestyle. And turning first in the middle of the pool, it is Burchell. She turned in 27:56.
Well, she certainly has the speed, but can she maintain that speed coming home the last 25? There are Hannes and Burchell side by side. Hannes has the orange cap. Let's see if she can run her down at the end.
Hannes looks like she's taking a slight lead, Rowdy, but Burchell trying to get back into it. This is going to be right at the wall. Burchell making a final push, and she was just fantastic. Burchell indeed wins it in 58:87.
Fantastic indeed. And that was just the 100-yard breaststroke. Multiply that times 2 the second time around. She was one of 2 expected favorites, a number 2 seed, I think, going into the NCAA. But in the SEC, it was all Kaylin Burchell against a very competitive and outstanding field, I'm told. I am reading. I don't know much about ladies swimming or men's swimming for that matter, but from what I have read today, this young lady has proved herself in the pool time and time again, and is going to have plenty of other opportunities to do so, especially when she makes it to the Olympic team. Pan Ams are coming up later on this summer. That's where her next focus lies, but all that comes after her second SEC championship. In this one, the 200-yard.
Now we still have a long way to go, a little over 50 yards, but Molly Hannes looks like she might just be a first-time SEC champion if she can just maintain that kind of pace the last 50.
And Hannes for Tennessee, the bright orange cap. Here comes Kaylin Burchell up at the top of the pool in lane 6. Burchell might get her.
She did. Burchell got her.
Kaylin Burchell.
And even though I gave it away, still thrilling.
You're here representing Alabama at the NCAAs. Let's go back to your 100 breaststroke. You finished second in what was one of the closest races, 58. How did that swim feel for you?
Good. It would have been nice to have been closer to the middle to see the girl. I really like to race, so I mean, when it comes to the sprints, like the 100, you know, I want to go for it. I mean, it's tough to lose by 6/100ths of a second, but you know, I'll take second all day long too.
Right, and you're familiar with the top 8. You were 7th in that event last year,
yes.
So able to drop about a second over the last year. What do you think? What do you attribute that to?
The coaching staff at Alabama. I mean,
Yeah. So this interview from Swimming World magazine, also via YouTube. And this was the NCAAs, of course, which she qualified after the SEC championships. And, yeah, she got ousted by .06 and took a very astounding second-place finish. Nothing wrong with that. What's maybe even perhaps more impressive, though, she did it after a very, very long night for some very painful reasons, I am sure. But to recoup, come back, and then just narrowly miss first, but take a second in the NCAAs, just something outstanding. An accomplishment that we hope to see her repeat and build on as she goes into the Pan Ams and then on to the Olympics.
And it's neat because I got to see the old team versus the new team, and I got to see this team transform into what it is now. And I mean, it's unreal what the coaches have been able to do for this team, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
Well, the transformation's been huge for both the women and the men. So let's move into your 200 breaststroke. Placed top 8 going into finals again, but come to find you were sick last night. So what happened, and how do you feel like that affected you?
I think I got a little bit of food poisoning last night. Stayed up till 4:35 with it. Finally got some sleep, slept till 8. Got to the pool and they put me on the IV and it got it rolling. You know, after that I felt pretty good. And
you still finished 5th tonight with a 2:07. So was that a best time for you?
Yes, that was the best time.
Food poisoning, 2 hours of sleep, an IV, and her best time. I know her mother and family are glowing with pride, and we're anxious to hear more about her in the coming weeks and months, as I'm told we shall. For now, I got to wrap it up and put the lid on it tonight with your Licky Valley RECC forecast. Cloudy out there today, kept temperatures in check. Still a nice 58 degrees out there. Tonight we'll fall backwards to 49. Mostly cloudy skies are hanging tough, not going anywhere, and we'll see a light east-northeast wind chance of precipitation is 20% late tonight, but more so tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly after 1 o'clock midweek. The big news tomorrow is the pickup in temperatures. Mostly cloudy with a high right around 72. Southwest winds tomorrow, 5 to 16 mile per hour gusts at times. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue mainly tomorrow night and then scattered after 4 a.m. into your Thursday, when we'll see mostly cloudy skies, still showers, and still possible thunderstorm as well. I mean, we're talking about a 90% chance of precipitation on your Thursday. This is not going away. This cold front, slow moving, and it's going to show as we'll see some continued showers, possibly some storms over the course of nearly a 48-hour window. It'll take about that long as well to knock temperatures down from that 72 tomorrow to about 45 or so on your Friday. And I also think that by Saturday we'll be closer to 40 degrees, and that is certainly more than a full 30-degree swing between then. A low of 22, that also puts us in the chance of seeing some rain turn over to a little bit of snow as well. Snow, I said it, didn't like it, but I said it. We're going to clear up for the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, 40 and 26. Sunday will start to pick up, but it'll be short-lived, I think. 52 degrees, I'm sorry, not short-lived, 52 on your Sunday. And then we'll see another burst of some energy pushes up to the mid-50s, maybe the low 60s by Tuesday of next week. All in all, not too bad, just a little bit of everything, just like you would expect from Eastern Kentucky. For now, that's my time. Thank you, as always, for being a part of it. See you back here tomorrow night.